Hello, everyone. I'm Ian Nicholas, alongside the rest of the NCTV crew, coming to you live from the New Canaan High School gym, where we should be in store for a great girls basketball FCAC matchup. The 6-6 New Canaan Rams play a scrappy, very deep and talented shooting team in the 5-7 Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. Now, if you're watching this game, it probably means you're a fan of the game of basketball. And if you're a fan of the game, if you're a fan of sports, then you must know that yesterday the world lost an icon, an NBA legend, Kobe Bryant. Everyone here in the New Canaan community, and obviously the basketball community across the world, was shocking with the news of a 41-year-old former LA Laker legend passed away in a helicopter crash on his way to his daughter Gianna, just 13 years old, travel basketball game. Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others unfortunately passed away in the helicopter crash right outside of Calabasas, California. Gianna and Kobe had a phenomenal relationship. They were growing such a tight bond, going to NBA games together, and one day Gianna looked to carry her father's legacy in the WNBA, and she wanted to be the next Mamba. The Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, was more than just a basketball player. As he once quoted at his Oscar Award-winning speech just a few years ago, basketball players should do more than just shut up and dribble. And to say the least, Bryant did a hell of a lot more for the game than just that. His Mamba mentality is something young athletes across the world have embraced and made part of their lives. Waking up early in the morning, multiple workouts a day, and dedicating themselves to one goal. That was Bryant's dream in life. Have a family and have basketball. And Bryant won 5 NBA championships because of that mentality. Kobe Bryant will be remembered as a man who innovated how young athletes and young people like me who want to be great at their profession get great at their profession, and you only need hard work to get there. He was born with God-given talent, but Bryant wanted to be remembered as a man who woke up day in and day out dedicated to the game. I'm honored tonight to be joined by a man who has more to bring on Kobe's situation and how it's going to be affecting everyone for a long time in the NBA community and across the world. Fairfield Ludlowe's Aiden Blanc. It is an honor to be with you tonight, Aiden.
And it really is, and such a shame that this night has to be overshadowed by the atrocity that took place yesterday. Our condolences go out to the 9 members of that crash, and everybody affected by it, certainly in the New Canaan and Fairfield Ludlowe communities. We have a really good girls basketball game tonight, but I think it really has been overshadowed by what has happened. Kobe was such a legend, and as 2 kids that grew up in the era of the Mamba, we really miss him. He was our Jordan. We never got to see Jordan play. We got to see Kobe play. He once said, heroes come and go, but legends are forever. Well, he is a legend, and he will be remembered for a long, long time. But we thank you so much for tuning in tonight and spending at least a part of this time of mourning with us, and hopefully we're able to help you through this very difficult time in the world of basketball and in the world of sports as a whole. We got 2 teams tonight that really embrace the Mamba mentality. Fairfield Ludlowe and New Canaan, both needing a win. There's a big boys game going down in Fairfield, but there's a big girls game tonight. The winner of this game could have a win that could propel them to the FCAC playoffs. So
Definitely.
We're going to find out, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Ian, why don't you introduce us to this New Canaan team and a player to watch from the Rams?
Well, a player to watch easily has to be star power forward Jane Charlton. She's heading next year to college Duke to play lacrosse. But let's talk about her on the basketball court, Aiden. She is a wrecking ball, a force, a freak athlete who can get up and down the court with ease and has guard skill. But where she's going to need to play big tonight for the Rams is down low in the paint. She can block shots, she can grab boards, and if they can shut down Ludlowe, and if Charlton can shut down Ludlowe in the paint and force them to only really shoot from the perimeter, that would be huge for New Canaan. When they hold opponents to 33 points or less, they're undefeated. Aiden, who's going to be an offensive player or 2 or more for Ludlowe, who are going to need to step up big in this game to combat Charlton, Liz DiMarino, and the rest of this pesky Rams defense?
Well, first of all, Ian, all 8 need to step up tonight. It's become very clear that this Ludlowe team is only at their best when all 8 or 9 players are in and playing at their best. That said, we talk about a couple players that could change the tide for the Falcons. First one I'm looking at is Juliette Buescher. She's been so-so to start the season, to say the least. She had a really good sophomore campaign. The junior campaign still can be just as good, but tonight is a night that could be a coming out party for her. Other side, let's talk Caitlin Finnegan. 16 points last week against Bassick. We saw her a little bit here and there against Bethel, but she kind of got shut down by their size. Tonight, if Ludlowe wants to win this game, they need to exploit her down low and really take control of the boards and get some good shots to roll.
Well, it's an emotional night for everyone in basketball, but tonight these two teams hopefully will provide the sparks that are needed in basketball across the nation in a game that Kobe Bryant helped mold, two scrappy teams needing a win. It should be a fun night, and it should be a night that we remember the greatness of Kobe Bryant, and hopefully we remember the greatness of one of these two teams on the court. Aiden, Blanc, I'm so happy you could join us here at NCTV.
Happy to be here.
I'm Ian Nicholas, and the rest of the NCTV crew will see you at tip-off in just a few moments.
So Laura's starting tonight.
Head coach of the Falcons is Sarah Kinsley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for the 2020 Canaan Rams.
Can you get that power thing over here?
Quinn McKiernan. Number 22, Catherine Lysecki. Number 14, Carney McKiernan. Number 5, Rihanna Ashaw. And number 33, Jane Charlton. Head coach of the Canaan is John
I was gonna
Vincent.
say, I'm just gonna be that guy that reposts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Repost
Canaan
on
High School
Instagram.
ESPN promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated in our grounds for removal from the gym. Canaan High School has many traditions, but bad sportsmanship is not one of them. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Hello, everyone. Ian Nicholas back alongside a special guest, Fairfield Ludlowe broadcaster, fellow junior Aiden Blanc. I'm so happy to be joined by you tonight, Aiden. We are in for a great game as the 6-6 New Canaan Rams are up against the 5-7 Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. At the tip for New Canaan is star senior captain Jane Charlton, number 33, as the Rams don the red and white. And meanwhile, for Ludlowe, star number 25, Callie Summers. Game is underway, and New Canaan looks like it's going to be heading in Ludlow's direction to start this one, Aiden.
Idabochi coming to pick it up right near us. She's wearing the 24. Obviously a very significant number on this night. I don't see an 8 on either side, though.
Well, at least we got one.
We have two 24s, though. So, very meaningful game for both of them. And a very meaningful game for both these teams, as we said. Obviously, the news from yesterday kind of stinks. But we got to play basketball, and this is a big game. One neither team can really afford to lose.
Wide open for three is Captain Lasecki. She's a bit short, and you're exactly right, Aiden. Both these teams, middle of the pack among FCAC, and they need a big win here. Driving to the lane is Summers, and she gets decked by Lasecki in the lane. So looks like she's going to head to the line for a 1-and-1 off the personal foul early. That's actually going to be on Carney McKiernan. A lot of new starters for the Rams tonight. They usually roll with a couple other players in the starting lineup, but all seniors tonight, as we have Carney McKiernan as well as Captain Lasecki, who usually both come off the bench. Free throw is well short there from Summers. Callie Summers is one of your favorite players, a freshman on this team starting. Aiden, what part of her skill set is so deadly for this Ludlow team?
You know what? No offense to any of the other, 10, 11 girls on the team. She's probably the most athletic player on the court right now, either side. She can move basically anywhere she wants with ease, and that's very rare to see today.
Here's Rihanna Afshar, one of the Rams' 3 captains, who nearly loses the ball. Really good pressuring defense from Emma Torello, the junior for Ludlow. Afshar goes up with it and misses. The rim is unkind on that miss, and a jump ball as Afshar goes after Summers on that one, but it will stay in Ludlow possession.
You saw right there, Emma Torello gets the poke early. She had like 3-4 interceptions defensively in about 2-3 minutes the other day against Danbury. We had so many storylines that we could have picked up for the open for this Fairfield Ludlow team. They're missing Sophie Lemley. She got injured on Saturday. Really no timetable as to when she's going to return. They are with Laura Heron, who's starting for the first time in a little bit. So a lot of storylines. We kind of just picked the 2 that were most glaring, but Emma Torello's defense was absolutely one. She's played impeccable so far.
Here's Summers on the break, gets it down low, and it's denied in the lane by Carney McKiernan. Ludlow keeps the ball, though, playing well and hustling. We're going to get a second possession here. Here's Ira Bochi and getting it to Emma Torello. Now right back to Torello in the corner. Quinn McKiernan's up on her close. Ball nearly poked loose. Driving, kicking, and can't finish. Ludlow get the second shot, though, and heading right back to the line is Kaylee Somers. And in a moment for Ludlow, number 34, Madison Roman, another freshman, one of the bigger players on this team, will check in.
Yeah, Callie was able to get in there. We're going to see a replay in a second. She's, as we said, she can be basically anywhere. She's not your typical center, but she probably could play center.
Well, it looks like Ludlow's rolling with a little bit bigger lineup right now, Aiden, as we got Summers on the court as well as Roman, a pair of freshmen, again, who are getting significant, pretty much starting varsity minutes, and both of them played in the JV game earlier where the JV Ludlow squad demolished the Rams JV squad 40-19.
A very interesting thing to pick up was that Anna Paulman didn't start. I didn't pick this up till just now. She's not played yet. She has been a starter basically every game since her freshman year. An interesting decision for Sarah Kinsley that, of course, has to have some sort of strategic advantage for Fairfield Ludlow. And you talked about the height. The height has not come in yet. You haven't seen the tallest this Ludlow lineup can get, but they're working pretty well so far.
Summers pushing it on the break and colliding in the captain Lasecki, who hits the deck, kicking it out. Roman getting it to Boucher, and she's trapped by both Quinn McKiernan and Jane Charlton, and they force the turnover.
Ian, they must have watched our intro where we highlighted Boucher and how she could shoot.
Yep.
And her shooting could make a difference. They double team her immediately. Very good decision because while she hasn't hit a ton of shots so far this season, when she starts to get going, she really can. And that was a very smart decision not to give her a look from 3.
New Canaan is in a 3-0 hole early as Ludlowe's been able to get to the line, or at least Callie Summers has gotten to the line where she's 3 of 4 on free throws. Here's Rihanna Afshar for New Canaan, getting it to Carney McKiernan near the top of the key. And right to senior Jane Charlton, who drives, goes up with it off the glass, and it clanks.
That was a beautiful drive.
Getting it 2-on-1 break. And Quinn McKiernan with a clean block on Torello. And then Torello is called for the foul, trying to slow down Quinn on the break on the other way.
So I see that we're still trying to figure out who's guarding who. I have no problem with that as we get another look at this on the replay. Everybody kind of trying to still figure out who's guarding who, but that matchup, I love that matchup for New Canaan. McKiernan and Torello. Torello's been blocked twice.
It's a pair of juniors, 2 of the best juniors for girls basketball in the FCAC. McKiernan can light it up in a hurry offensively, and as you mentioned, Torello is a quality shooter and a third-year starter for Ludlowe. So 2 juniors with plenty of experience, and they're playing well together back and forth. Charlton
McKiernan has the upper hand so far.
Hits the deck, goes up with it, a beautiful and 1 finish from the bruising Jane Charlton. She'll get an opportunity for a 3-point play at the line.
We commented on her early. That was a huge basket for them to get on the board, and now they're going to try and tie this game.
Charlton had a team-high 15 points in a big win against Trumbull on Friday night. Trumbull is the team New Canaan lost to in the first round of playoffs last year after winning 7 games in the second year of head coach John Winchester's run here. That was a big win for New Canaan to get over the hump. Trumbull's been a powerhouse in the FCAC for a long time. And Charlton played a big role in the Rams getting that win, scoring nearly half of their 33 points. Ludlow's moving it up the court here. Summers looks like she's about to shoot it, but hesitates, passes it out, gets it to Roman, and Roman is fouled by Rams senior Katie Dunn.
She likes that. She likes that because she knows that she's able to get those shots up and she's able to own the paint. She's not your typical center. I told you about this. Callie's even looks a little bit taller. It's kind of a day-by-day basis. One day Madison's taller, one day Callie's taller. But it's been a good start for Roman. She's really earned her spot as a main center. And Caitlin Finnegan will come in a little bit, and Roman will transition into a more of a power forward role. But she can really own the paint. She's not your typical center, but she plays the position really well.
And as you mentioned, she can also play forward, really not positionless in a sense. She can drill shots from the line. She can play all around the court with her physical style.
I would like to see her shoot a 3. I would bet she could.
Imagine if she could. She'd be
not consistently, but I think she could probably knock down a few threes if you needed her to.
A low-scoring game early on. Ludlow's up 4-3 with 4.5 minutes to go left to go in quarter number 1. Here's Rihanna Afshar again for New Canaan, guarded closely by junior Emma Torello of Fairfield Ludlowe. Rihanna Afshar drives and loses it. And then Torello hits the deck, and Afshar nearly rips it back. It's a jump ball, which will head in Ludlow's direction.
Oh, Roman really almost earned possession for Fairfield Ludlowe. I like the aggressiveness so far. Ludlow's not coming here just to sit around and wait for the game to be handed to them. They're coming out strong, and they're passing something we also could have mentioned up top. They finished their passing really well. I know that may not be a prime example, but against Bethel, they came out and they passed really well. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue that slick ball movement offensively.
Captain Lasecki just got the steal for New Canaan, and another new possession here. And Lasecki loses it out of bounds, and it will head the other way. Last out on Lasecki, and she's a bit stunned. A couple of new players into the game for Ludlowe, and you pointed out number 42, another freshman, Caitlin Finnegan. Talk about an absolute woman amongst tinier woman here. I mean, she's massive on this court. What does she present for Ludlowe outside of obviously size?
Yeah, so she really played well against Bethel, who had a girl that was 6'3" and was committed to Fordham.
And didn't Finnegan lead the team in scoring?
She was able, against Bassick, yes. Yeah. She was able to really hold her own at that position, and she didn't start great, but she's proven that she can really play with this team.
Also checking in was Juliet Boucher as well. And here's Charlton. She has an open look, but she fakes, drives to the lane, and nearly gets another and one as she'll head right back to the line.
Kinsley's shaking her head there. She does not want those fouls to be racked up. Both teams now in starting to get up there. 3 on New Canaan and 4 on Fairfield Ludlowe, and Finnegan picks up her first.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, whoever won in the paint was going to probably win this game. And so far, we're playing really physical, maybe a little bit overly physical because a lot of fouls are being committed and a lot of opportunities are presenting themselves at the charity stripe. Liz DiMarino checks in for the first time tonight. She's usually the Rams starting 5. And Quinn McKiernan checks out for the Rams. Jane Charlton goes 1 for 2 on this trip, ties the game back up at 4 apiece. Here's Torello on the other end. Getting it to Finnegan. In the corner going baseline. Trapped is Ludlowe, and it's intercepted by Rihanna Afshar, who makes sure to keep the ball in New Canaan possession. Here she is in attack mode, and she'll slow it down as New Canaan gets set in the half court.
New Canaan's defense has really come to play so far, Ian. Ludlow's not an easy offense to stop.
Dawn looking for a pass. She finds her fellow senior, Rihanna Afshar. And Afshar will reset for the Rams. Torello's all over, and Afshar nearly loses it and gets it right to Katie Dunn. Dunn can play both on and off ball for the Rams, and here she's the point. Getting it to DiMarino. Corner, it's Megan Driscoll, the sophomore, for 3, and she's short, and Ludlowe gets the rebound. Trying to go all the way is Boucher, getting it to Summers. And right back to Summers it goes. Summers is open, but she'll pass it out. Nearly losing it is Heron, Laura Heron, that is. Cutting the
Torello
rim.
with a nice jump.
Really great off-ball movement and an excellent finish through traffic was the junior Emma Torello, getting on the board, I believe, for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Emma got a beautiful cut. I was watching her. She came all the way out, drew man all the way out, and then she was able to get that little burst of speed to the basket. That was a beautiful move.
Driscoll corner for Katie Dunn. Dunn kicking it to Rihanna Afshar. Afshar drives baseline and finishes silky smooth off the glass.
Yeah, it's tough to see. Torello had such a great basket over there, and then she blows her coverage on the other end. But Ludlowe, they played transition ball really well. Not there, but
yeah, you jinxed them a little bit.
They played transition ball really well, and I'm excited to see them play against such a fast-paced team like New Canaan. Very interesting matchup, though, developing between Finnegan and, hang on, I'm still getting used to these New Canaan girls.
Yep.
Finnegan and Charlton.
Here's Liz DiMarino open on the arc, but she gets it to sophomore Megan Driscoll, who can shoot. We already saw her take a shot, and she's not afraid to pull it. Here is Jane Charlton, who will head to Duke next year to play lacrosse. She drives again to the lane, looking for a foul, doesn't get it, and it's a jump ball.
You like Finnegan on Charlton. How about Roman on Charlton? 2 of the most athletic bigs in this league going up against each other. And Madison is a very competitive girl. This is a senior against a freshman. She wants to hold her own and prove that she can go against big bad seniors.
Afshar gets it inbounds to DiMarino. Now here's Charlton with the ball. Again, getting banged up down low, and good play there from Finnegan. You're clapping because Ludlow's holding the fort in the paint. Just under a minute left to go in quarter number 1.
That was a beautiful defensive stance.
Talk about a beautiful defensive game. Just 12 total points between these two teams. Here's Roman kicking it down low to Finnegan. Butterfingers, though. Luckily, it will stay in Ludlow possession, though. She nearly turns it over for the second time in as many possessions. 44.2 seconds left in quarter number 1.
Yeah, they got to slow the ball down here. There's 44 seconds left, no shot clock. Get a good look. Either an easy bunny or that.
Or an easy putback. No, it's missed by Ira Bochy. Bochy, that is, my mistake. The senior, that was a pretty good shot for the co-captain, but the rim had other thoughts and it bounced out. Quinn McKiernan checks in for New Canaan, and for the first time tonight, senior captain Jane Charlton, who's had a great opening quarter.
They get the ball back and they get an opportunity to score again. Hold it for 30 or so seconds. Although, when you give Roman that good of a look,
she's going to take it.
Why would you ever just stay there and pass?
Hopefully she'll convert at the line. She'll get 2 shots. Liz DiMarino gets her first foul on the night. And also an interesting battle between head coaches, 2 third-year coaches and 2 former, obviously, high school players. John Winchester in Connecticut was an All-American, a parade All-American, played at both Tennessee and Quinnipiac. Aiden, why don't you tell us a little bit about Ludlow's third-year head coach, who won 14 games last year, but they've only got off to a 5-7 head start under Sarah Kinsley.
Yeah, Sarah Kinsley in her 4th season. She's been with this group. This is the first real group she's gotten a chance to get through. She was named the head coach 4 years ago. She had 1 year, and then this group of now juniors that were freshmen at the time, 3 of them came in. That was Buscher, Torello, and Pullman. And almost all of them got a chance to play freshman year. She's been grooming this class for 1 big year. A lot of people thought it could be this year. They got off to a slow start for a number of reasons, but a lot of people are thinking next year this could become a top 10 team in the state. And we're all looking forward to it, too.
Ball movement looks really good for New Canaan right now. 10 seconds left to go. Looking for an illegal screen. Ludlow won't get it, and DiMarino nearly loses it. It's a jump ball, and it's going to head in the other direction. Really good half-court set there from Ludlow defensively.
So 6 seconds. New Canaan goes into a full-court press. Let's see how Ludlow tries to break it.
Looking to inbound is Boki. She gets it in to Buscher. Buscher up the left sideline. I think they're going to rule her out of bounds, and they do. And that will leave New Canaan with a whopping 1.9 seconds left in quarter number 1 to get a desperation heave
Hey,
off.
man, stranger things have happened, especially in this gym.
In this gym. And the Ryan Makula shot for the ages. Getting it to Quinn McKiernan. Will she get the shot off? Yes. Will it go in? No. At the end of the first quarter, talk about a defensive battle we have here brewing, Aiden. 7 Ludlow, 6 New Canaan, in a battle between 2 middle-of-the-pack FCAC teams with a lot of talent. The question is, who will rise to the challenge? And so far, it's been Ludlow. Is anything changing? I mean, you mentioned heading into this game, this was going to be a team that could shoot the ball, but they haven't needed to shoot the ball to get an early lead. Have they played this physical all year, or is this the best you've seen them defensively?
You know, they've done a really good job of driving down and getting buckets in the paint, but I think it's honestly the teachings of Anna Pullman. She's such a great foul magnet. We joke and call her the foul magnet, but she is. She does such a great job of getting down there, and it feels like almost every time she's in the paint, she gets fouled. Not sure why she hasn't gotten a chance to play tonight. We'll have to figure that out as the game goes along, but it'll be very interesting if she can play. She's here. If she can play, will she be able to will she get some time? Again, this is very odd. She's started every game for Ludlow this season, so there has to be something up, and we're going to have to figure that out in a little bit. But, hey, you know what? It's good because a lot of people have said she's their best player. Well, right now they have a 7-6 lead against a really good New Canaan team without her. It's a very good sign, and they're playing just fine. So,
I mean, as you mentioned, this is her 3rd year on varsity. She started all of last year, most of her freshman season. She can play it at the 4 and the 5, and her sister was one of the best players Ludlow really has ever seen, an all-FCAC player last year. Megan Driscoll from the corner is no good for 3, and here's Ludlow in transition. Here is Anna Pullman, who will check it. Actually, no, that's actually Laura Heron. Pullman still hasn't checked in. Madison Roman's looking for a foul, but she gets the bucket regardless, and Coach John Winchester is going to call the first timeout for either team in this one as they're down 3 points.
Score update from the boys' game. That may be a little bit bigger than this game, if not just as big. A 10-10 tie at the end of 1. We saw a 7-6 Ludlow lead at the end of 1 here, so we'll see.
And speaking of FCAC teams really across the division, let's look at some of the standings. We see both of these teams in the Eastern Division, and both of them sitting near somewhat the bottom. New Canaan 4-5 against FCAC opponents. Didn't help that they had a 4-game losing streak they just snapped. Meanwhile, Ludlow is, I believe, 3-6 with a recent loss. But regardless, both teams similar in the FCAC standings.
Yep.
And this win's going to be big if they want to potentially make an FCAC tournament big. You mentioned to me before the game, really, Ludlow has to win out if they want to make the tournament. New Canaan, just one more win than Ludlow, so they got to play big too.
Ian, this is one of those games where at the end of the season, you're able to look back, and for whoever wins this game, you're able to look back and say, we went to the FCX semifinals, to the FCX championship because of this game. This game propelled us to the playoffs, and for the losing team, it's very possible. Obviously, this isn't a make or break game, an elimination game, but you look back at this game and maybe the losing team says, we wish we could have stolen that, could have changed the course of our season.
Quinn McKiernan's had a rough start to this one. The junior misses the layup there. Ludlowe in transition, 3-ball up, 3-ball no good from Emma Torello.
You know, they've been trying to get her into more of a shooting role.
They keep the ball in bounds, and it's intercepted by Quinn McKiernan defensively. She makes the play off the Torello pass.
Torello on McKiernan. Torello's given up a good amount of height. We'll see if she can hold her own.
Afshar is going to be thinking of that one tomorrow as that one clanks out. And here for Ludlowe, down low is Roman again. They're really feeding her, and why not? She's red hot right now as Ludlowe has a 7-point lead, and a lot of it is thanks to her play. A 5-point lead, 11-6.
They wanted a foul, but they got something even better, a basket.
Basket.
What a crazy trajectory that took.
I know, I thought that was air ball, I'm not going to lie, but somehow, some way it goes in, and the rim does some kindness there. The rim does some kindness there for Rihanna Afshar, bringing it back to a 3-point game as that one rims in. Here's Torello, getting it to Summers, and swinging it back and forth. Here's Roman again. Good pass down low. Will they finish with a bucket? No. Rough miss there from the junior Laura Herron.
Very interesting. They get Laura down there, and she's so comfortable looking for a little bunny. Good effort. I'll take it.
Definitely.
It's still a 3-point Ludlow lead, and their defense has been locked down so far.
McKiernan in the corner. Picks her dribble up, looking for a pass. She's just jabbing. You're calling for a travel. Refs say otherwise. New Canaan keeps possession.
She's one step away there, Ian.
Oh, so close. 50-50.
They almost had her.
Katie Dunn on the drive, and she loses it. Poked away from Ludlowe. Beautiful pass up court. Will they finish? The answer is yes. Laura Herron with a good bucket and transition.
Ian, that was a beautiful fast break. You couldn't have drawn that up any better.
In the corner, Katie Dunn confident for a 3, and she splashes it home. Much needed New Canaan bucket. Finally, the offenses are coming alive in the New Canaan High School gym.
I'll let her shoot that any day because 9 times out of 10 that won't go in. Callie with a nice little take to the rack. It's a 2-point game. We predicted it was going to be close. It very much is.
And finally, that first quarter was a little bit, I wouldn't say not exciting, but a defensive battle.
It was
in the
quick.
Second, it was quick, went by fast, a lot of loose balls, a lot of jump balls, a lot of steals, a lot of misses. Second quarter's been a completely different story. These two teams are finally showing their true colors as two complete teams.
Much more offensive battle so far in this second.
Definitely. Summers splashes home the first free throw. She's had a really big game. And she's already warm. She played a good chunk of that JV game. You mentioned you were a bit.
She did, yeah. Usually she doesn't get too many
about
looks.
That. But
yeah, her and Madison both played JV. I don't know if that was because of a lack of players or what happened, but they seem pretty warm. And a good start for both of them. So clearly that didn't really affect them. If anything, it just got them warmer.
She goes 1 for 2 from the line. Quinn McKiernan's wide open for 3, and she airballs Charlton with a good effort, but it will go the other way. She was out of bounds. And Charlton mentioned in an interview she did with David Rudin earlier in the year, she's also up for Rudin Report Player of the Week, one of the finalists there after her performance against Trumbull. This team is really the tightest it's been in her 4-year run here, and that's why they've been able to make such a big really leap every single year under head coach John Winchester. Here's New Canaan on the other end. Quinn McKiernan slows it down and gets it to their point guard, Rihanna Afshar, one of the Rams' 3 captains. Katie Dunn sets her up with a screen in the corner. Wide open is Katia Milasecki for 3, and Rihanna Afshar nearly keeps it in bounds, but right off her right hand.
Yeah, tough look. I'm not sure I'm shooting that far into the corner, but the corner shot's always the toughest.
Yeah, but New Canaan is not afraid to shoot it. We've seen Driscoll, we've seen Lasecki, and we've seen McKiernan pull it tonight. Katie Dunn's the only one that's made it, though.
Huge thing about both these teams, one of the best things about both these teams offensively is they love to shake it off. When they miss, just get them next possession.
Fighting for the ball. Dunn takes a shot in the back, and it's still Ludlowe ball. Hook shot, looking for the Kareem, and instead she gets blocked. Caitlin Finnegan.
You can't get blocked there. Come on. You got the height advantage. There's no reason you should be getting blocked there.
Good play there from New Canaan. Here's McKiernan. She's open, but she's not pulling it from that deep. So Rihanna Afshar resets with a new play from Coach Winchester. McKiernan will pull that three, and it clanks out. She fights for the rebound. Finnegan gets it. Ball is loose, and Lisecki gets it back for New Canaan. Rihanna Afshar will go right to the lane, and she will finish with a body right on her.
Hey, man, if they're going to bomb threes like we've seen on these last few possessions, let them. Clearly, they're not going in except for a rare circumstance. So at this point, I'm more concerned about my inside.
And especially those second chance points. Recently, New Canaan's getting a lot of second looks. They're getting rebounds. They're getting loose balls. And they're turning into easier buckets even after those misses.
Torello lost her headband on that last defensive possession.
It's a physical game.
You talked about it. You said we're going to see a lot of jump balls. This New Canaan team does not fool around. They play physical.
Yep.
And I think Ludlowe plays a very similar game.
Juliet Buscher at the line, the junior co-captain, who was an honorable mention for the All-FCAC team last year. So was Emma Torello. And as you mentioned to me before the game, Buscher really is a terrific shooter who just hasn't found her groove so far this year. She gets a couple shots from the charity stripe to get New Canaan, to get Ludlowe a 3-point lead.
But I think it certainly helps that Sarah Kinsley continues to start her and continues to put her in this situation, saying, all right, if you're going to miss, if you're going to struggle, we don't care. She's a leader on the court, and she plays good defense. As we saw, she's basically automatic from the foul line. So there's a lot that they still have with her. The three-point shooting just isn't quite there yet, and hopefully that starts to come soon.
McKiernan wide open for three, and again it's short. She's having a rough game. Katie Dunn gets the rebound for New Canaan. Another second chance opportunity. McKiernan on the drive, puts up the floater, and again another bad miss on the air ball. Summers gets the rebound. Here's Buscher. Buscher bounce pass. Shot is up, and shot is way short from Laura Herron. Quinn McKiernan with the rebound as Rihanna Afshar fights off the press.
If I'm Juliet, I'd take that straight to the hoop. Try and draw a foul. New Canaan's now would have 7 at that point, so.
And New Canaan, we see them often tonight. Whenever they get in the half court, they try to go a bit slower and methodical. Here's Jane Charlton, who picks up her dribble, and the pass is nearly stolen by Juliet. Quinn McKiernan gets it back for New Canaan.
Lockdown defense from Ludlowe. I love to see it.
Just over 2 minutes left in half number 1. New Canaan trails 3, 16-13. And a quick give and go gives Quinn McKiernan a 1v1 opportunity against Caitlin Finnegan. McKiernan, the ball off her knee.
Oh, there's a foul. Who's it on?
I believe it is on Juliet
Juliet
Buscher, if I'm not mistaken.
Come on, man.
And
that's not a foul.
Well,
but you know what? Sarah Kinsley doesn't care.
Well, she's making her case known, but
no. I meant when she came over, she was giving Juliet a high five. Said great effort.
Oh. Especially when the ball's
they'll take the foul.
Afshar to inbound, bounce pass to Charlton. Pump fake is going to draw the foul.
Oh,
she'll head back to the line.
Another pretty controversial call. I think you probably make a better case for that than the foul that just occurred. But
whenever that pump fake goes up and there are two people on it, it's a hard call not to make if you're a ref, I should say. Charlton's been pretty good from the line tonight. Can't bank it in there. New Canaan still rolling with the lineup of Afshar, Driscoll, Lisecki, Dunn, and Charlton. Really 4 guards on the court for New Canaan in one big.
Yeah, now that I see the replay, that was absolutely a foul. That was a good call.
And I'm pretty sure they might have called it a 1-and-1 because Charlton never got a second attempt from the line, and it's still Ludlowe ball. It is now Ludlowe ball.
Mm-hmm.
Carney McKiernan checks in. Katie Dunn checks out, the pair of seniors. Rams still trail by 3.
Referees have done a good job of letting the coaches plead their case so far. Both Winchester.
Oh, Our producer, Cortland Parrott, pointing out that one of the New Canaan players stepped over the line on the free throw. So
yeah,
that's why it's a violation.
You can't have that.
The ball is flying everywhere right now. People are getting leveled. People are getting decked. Hitting the floor of a physical storyline continues. And they're going to call a personal foul, I believe, on Juliet Boucher.
I thought that was against Roman.
Oh.
We'll have to see on the replay, but it looked like Roman
she checks
came
right
over.
back out. So I think you're right there, Aiden. And Ludlowe has 17 fouls, so Charlton will head right to the line.
And this is a 1-and-1. Yeah, that was kind of an unlucky situation there. Ludlow's run into 3 unlucky fouls in these last few minutes. That one, nothing they really could have done. She came down and knocked her with the elbow, as you'll get to see here.
So Driscoll got it to Charlton. It was like a jump ball.
There's nothing you could have done about that.
Yeah, Roman was just playing physical defense, setting up in the post. Charlton jumped, loses their footing a little bit. Roman's right there. Another 50-50 call.
So very interesting. New Canaan, not that it now matters, but New Canaan was ready for a miss to set up defensively. 4 of the girls were set up.
They did that a lot in the
court.
Greenwich game during the final stretch. An interesting coaching decision from Winchester.
They don't want to get caught off. They don't want to get caught off guard, especially how Ludlow's played on the fast break.
That a lot of their buckets have come from there, Aiden. Ludlow loses the ball. It's in Kearney McKiernan's hands. Now Megan Driscoll's hands. As they're trying to bring the trap. Rihanna Afshar keeps it, and again resets at the NC logo. Just 57 seconds left in half number 1. It's a 1-point game. Driscoll, corner 3, no good. Rihanna Afshar fights for the rebound and gets it for New Canaan. She'll reset again. 43 seconds left now in the half. Here's Kearney McKiernan in the high post. Gets it to an open Jane Charlton. She pumps, she drives, and she can't finish off the easy lay-in.
A shame that that beautiful drive had to miss.
She's got an excellent shot fake.
Halftime in the boys' game, and Ludlow up by 3, 26-23.
Ball is kept in bounds.
What a save. Great effort by Laura.
This is going to probably be the last possession, last shot of the half. 13 seconds left. Here's Torello. Down low, McKiernan breaks it up. Ball still loose. No clear possession is found. 3 seconds left. Captain Lasecki finally gets it for New Canaan, and they don't even realize what time is left on the clock. Talk about a debacle there for a final possession. And what has been a very interesting game, to say the least. We've seen offense, we've seen defense, we've seen fouls, and we've seen the ball on the ground a lot. Right now it's 16-15. Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons are up against New Canaan. Aiden, what about you take us through the first half highlights?
Yeah, the first half was a really interesting one. We see Emma Torello get a good look underneath, one of her best shots of the season. On the other end for New Canaan, Rihanna Afshar gets it to go. Then Fairfield Ludlowe goes down low to their main center, Madison Roman with a lay-in. Wonderful look from another angle. And Ludlowe really played a good first half, but kind of unraveled there at the end. New Canaan gets a runner. It was not all one team. We knew that coming in. This does not feel like a battle between 6 and 6 and 5 and 7 teams, though. Very gritty game, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
It should be a lot of fun. We'll be back in a moment. The score is 16 Fairfield Ludlowe, 15 New Canaan Rams. A battle between a pair of nearly 500 teams looking to stay alive in that FCAC playoff push. We'll see you in a second. Ian Nichols and Aiden Blanc will be there.
Can I get that thing for the second half?
Hello,
Sound
everyone.
like
Ian, Nicholas, Aiden, Blanc back here for the second half of New Canaan versus Fairfield Ludlowe girls basketball. It's a tight game, Aiden. 16-15, Ludlowe leads. And we're going to let you take over a little bit for the play-by-play duties. I'll go to color. And we're going to have a great second half. It's been a battle offensively and defensively. Leading scorers for New Canaan are Rihanna Afshar and Jane Charlton, who each have 6 points apiece.
Yep, really fun game as we get underway in the second half, and already Callie Summers can't get it to go. We're going to find out how good this Ludlowe team really is. They certainly want to amp up the pressure defensively. They did a very good job of that to start. They get a turnover to begin here in the second half. Buescher, Torello, the fake pass underneath, almost intercepted. But you got Heron and Bochy for a three that was way off. Summers trying to get a rebound over at least Quinn McKiernan, and there was another Ram that was in there. Couldn't quite see it, but she does a good job wrestling that away. New Canaan will get the ball to start alternating possessions. So they have the possession arrow. Ludlowe has it now, and it's Catherine Lisecki to bring it across center court. She's picked up by Bochy.
Neither team has been great shooting the ball tonight, Aiden, but they are not afraid to let it rip from beyond the arc. These shots are bound to fall at some point, though, you got to think.
A senior-on-senior matchup, a junior-on-junior matchup with Quinn McKiernan and Juliette Buescher. Juliette's given up some size, but she certainly has the talent to do it defensively. Early shot no from Jane Charlton. The Duke-bound lacrosse superstar gets a steal here. Trying to redeem herself. But she can't. Just misses on the layup. A foul. And it's going to get called against Jane Charlton.
I mean, but when you talk about Charlton, you look and just see what she does on the court, and she moves like a player much smaller than her, just jumping passes left and right, moving in transition effortlessly. She might get an over physical here or there, but she can pick off a pass and change momentum just like that.
Jane picks up her first foul. Important she stays out of foul trouble.
And she just got another steal, too, jumping another great pass.
Yeah, a huge turnover as New Canaan gets a chance to score here. It's Afshar, the senior on a junior Torello. A lot of senior on junior ball today. Here's Lisecki and a senior on senior against Bochy. Can't get it to roll. Boch pulls the rebound and gives it off for Torello. Anna Paulman's back. She missed a practice. That's why she didn't play in the first half. Juliette Buescher gets her first bucket of the night, and that was big to start Ludlow's offense.
Talk about a shot with some moxie. There was an open three there on the break. They don't take it. And then Buescher's step back three. Wow, you don't see that a lot in FCX girls basketball. That was a beautiful shot.
Boy, it's almost as if she knows she has been ice cold. Oh. What a shot. And every time she hits one of those, we always say, my broadcast partner for Ludlowe games, Scott Torello, and I always seem to have a hope for the best. And we always say, all right, maybe this is what finally breaks the slump. Maybe that's what finally breaks the slump.
You know, watching some of the games this year for Ludlowe, you see that your shooters there over at Ludlowe High, they can shoot off the dribble, and that's exactly what she did there. They get more shots like that to fall, they could build upon this 4-point lead very quickly.
All right, here's New Canaan. 5.5 to play, third quarter. They trail by 4. A foul's going to get picked up by Laura Heron. She started the year with very minuscule minutes because in the first few games she had problems fouling too early. She'd pick up 2-3 fouls in the first quarter and have to sit till the end, and it was a big problem for Ludlowe, but she's more or less figured that out. Substitutions as Summers comes in for Bochy. You see how quick this Ludlowe team substitutes. Buescher guarding the inbounder, the inbounder McKiernan. This is Charlton, way out in no man's land, picked up by Paulman. The senior Afshar and the junior Torello. Roman all the way out against Carney McKiernan. Underneath, it's Charlton, rejected. Buescher comes away with it. The outlet. Stripped away from Paulman, but out of bounds off the Rams, and Ludlowe retains possession. 5:05 to play, third quarter, and it's a 19-15 Fairfield Ludlowe lead. A good start for them on the road in hostile territory.
That was gravity there that hit Jane Charlton. Tries to go up with kind of a Euro move, and she just hits the deck because there was nothing keeping her from falling to the ground. They need to find some more options outside of Charlton. She's trying to carry a lot of the load for New Canaan right now. Get the rest of your players involved offensively.
Foul underneath. It was on the floor. Roman tried to sell the shot, but she just couldn't. So it's Buscher to inbound. Heaves it to the corner. Beautiful drive from Summers. We highlighted her off the top, said she was one of the most athletic players on the team. You can see she doesn't get it to roll, but Ludlowe resets the offense. Torello, the entry, the exit to Buscher, and it's Torello once again from the top near the NC logo. She's
really
tightly
well
guarded
now
by Afshar, and a timeout is called, although Afshar could have been called for a foul very soon. So a timeout is called for Fairfield Ludlowe. 4:41 to play in the third quarter. A 19-15 lead for the Falcons on this Monday night in late January. Crazy to think that February is in just a few days.
The season moves by fast, Aiden. We're in the midst of the big home stretch for both of these teams. They need to pick up win after win. Thank you for that one. Thanks for the assist there. But what I would say, that's a smart timeout from Coach Kingsley. I mean, there's nothing that was pressuring Ludlowe. It's not like a turnover was imminent, but there was just nothing going. New Canaan was playing one of their better half-court sets of the night. And just take a quick reset. You got a 4-point lead. Draw up a smart play here that could potentially extend that lead and build momentum. We haven't seen a team break away yet today. The largest lead of this game was 5 by Ludlowe earlier. New Canaan erased that early, Aiden. So hopefully they can draw up a smart play here. Ludlowe, that is, and build on that lead.
Big thing so far that you could notice is fouls. 2 on each side. While at the end of that first half, Ludlowe finished with 7. New Canaan finished with 6. So fouling was an issue in the first half, maybe not so much so far in the second half. Almost halfway through this third quarter. Buscher darts to the far side in the corner. It's Paulman. Double team, bounces for Summers. That was dangerous, but she makes it work. It's Roman underneath, took steps, and I think you could have seen that coming.
Yeah, it's hard to stop her when she's got a little bit of momentum ahead of her, and that time just got a little bit too carried away. She's been on attack mode all night, though, Aiden. She's done a fantastic job down low, presenting a big challenge for New Canaan's bigs. That pass goes nowhere, but they're saying it was deflected off of somebody on Ludlowe. And Coach Kinsley didn't see it, and even though I'm a fan of New Canaan basketball, I didn't really see a player deflect that pass either.
Yeah, Kinsley is known for getting quite vocal with the referees. And usually the referees let her say her part. Luckily, it hasn't really penalized the team so far, but when she sees a call that she thinks should have gone her team's way,
oh no,
she's right there. Into the corner now, it's Catherine Dunn. Up to top, trying to lose Paulman. Not something very easy to do. Stops her dribble into the corner and dribbled out by Megan Driscoll. Charlton underneath, lost the ball, loose on the floor, picked up by the freshman Summers. And Ludlow's coming back on the other end. Now it's loose on the floor in the Falcons' front court, and it will come to a jump ball.
Yeah, you got to imagine these two teams are starting to get a little tired right now. I know Ludlowe has a little bit deeper a bench than New Canaan, and especially getting Paulman back in the lineup for the second half helps Ludlowe. But they're playing a physical brand on both ends of the court as we see a travel there. Afshar and Torello getting into it near the logo. A little bit confusing on that one.
Torello called for the travel, and it turns it over to the Rams. Here's Afshar. On Torello, beautiful double team or near double team from Summers and Torello. It leads to an open 3 that just can't go from Charlton, but a shooting foul underneath.
That one's going to be on Emma Torello, and Driscoll's not afraid to shoot that 3 ball. She's been at it all night.
That's going to be on Madison Roman, and that's important because that's her third. She's only got 2 more. and she is not a player that Ludlowe can do without tonight.
She's really been carrying the load for them offensively tonight, and even though she's had her miscues here and there, they need her on the court. And talk about
shot rims out.
Talk about a defensive battle, Aiden. We saw it in the first. We only saw 12 combined points between those two teams in the first quarter. We've seen just 3 points from both teams in the entirety of this third quarter so far.
Second shot rims out a front iron. That was a huge miss for the Rams. Falcons coming back the other end. Torello inside. Roman, who got called for a travel driving down there the last time. Too strong this time, and if that fouls on Roman, it's her fourth. It's either Roman or Paulman.
It's Paulman.
And it is Paulman, thankfully. If there's ever a situation where you're thankful for Anna Paulman to pick up a foul, that's it. She did not play in the first half, so she's got very little to her name so far. You'd rather have her pick up that foul than Roman. New Canaan coming into their front court. It's done underneath, and another foul. Ludlowe has started to get chippy, and they're now up to 5 fouls. Just about 3:03 to play in the third quarter.
I don't know where the discipline is gone for Ludlowe. New Canaan is just attacking the basket. Coach Winchester is finding a weakness in this stout Ludlowe defense, and it's maybe their ability or lack of ability to find restraint near the lane. Katie Dunn is a very good free throw shooter alongside Quinn McKiernan. When those two get to the line, they're pretty much automatic. So that's one of the players you don't want to foul in this situation. And it looks like the second one is up, and the second one is money. It's a 2-point game. New Canaan scores their first points of the quarter. It's just 5 combined points between these two teams, and we're 5 minutes into the quarter.
This game, again, becoming more and more emotionally charged as we go on, and Finnegan gets one to roll. That was huge for Fairfield Ludlowe.
Talk about a mismatch. Katie Dunn versus Caitlin Finnegan. There's not much you're going to do there defensively if you're done. You just stand back and let her score.
Here's Driscoll from top. She's picked up by Summers to the corner. This is a fun matchup. Dunn and Paulman. How about Finnegan and Charlton? Finnegan wins that battle, but Charlton gets it right back and lays it in underneath. It's now just a 2-point game. New Canaan coming back.
It was only a matter of time before Jane Charlton scored again. And speaking of scoring, there is Callie Summers. Callie Summers coming alive here in the second half.
Not a defender in sight for Callie. She gets a free lane to the hoop. And on the opposite end, the Rams answer with Afshar.
Finally, I was waiting for an offensive explosion. Both bomb squads are finally starting to get a little bit amped. The scoring is picked up here in the third quarter.
Here's Torello. She lofts it. Finnegan got a spot and knocks it down. Ludlowe by 4.
Where's the defense gone, Aiden? Layup after layup after layup. These are easy
buckets. That time at least it's excusable. She beat her man fair and square.
Good pump fake. Give her credit. You're right. McKiernan's trapped a little bit.
Yeah, Busher and McKiernan, one of the marquee matchups in this second half. Dunn blows right by Paulman and is fouled underneath. The Rams have done a great job getting Ludlowe to commit these fouls as they shoot underneath. They haven't hit these buckets, and if these fouls weren't getting called, Ludlowe could be up by 7, 8 points.
And Coach Kinsley is just nothing she could do but just smile at her bench after that one. Just, hey, just can't catch a break right now. Refs are calling a lot. And Katie Dunn, again, as I mentioned, second to go. She's not a player you want to foul. She's 3-3 in the second half so far. Jane Charlton and Quinn McKiernan check out for New Canaan. Liz DiMarino and Captain Lisecki, all seniors, checking in. Just a 3-point game. Could be a 2-point game. Dunn, great from the line. And she drills it.
2 for 2. We're back to a 2-point game. Here's Torello. She's been the play caller offensively to the corner. Bocci tried a fancy move, lost the basketball. Lisecki was the one to come away with it. A jump ball called. But Ludlowe stays with possession. No, New Canaan gets it.
You know, you got to give credit to both these teams. This game's getting awfully chippy, and I know that's just the nature of the sport. But both teams are staying calm and composed, no matter what's happened. Fouls, loose balls, people hitting each other. They're staying cool.
A minute to play, third quarter. 2-point game.
Here's Driscoll with it. That's a deep three. Nowhere close.
And the rebound was pulled by Torello, who got pulled to the ground, and a foul is called. Oh, that was huge. Ludlowe did not want a jump ball. They did not get a jump ball. They got a foul, and that was rightfully deserved. Torello got tossed on the ground.
You know, I played football for a few years, Aiden. Let me tell you, I've never had that good a tackle in my life. And, you know, Rihanna Afshar is a phenomenal player on both ends of the court. But she tackled Torello. That was pretty clean there.
What's it, WWE Monday Night Raw?
Who knows?
Oh, you're seeing it right here.
The new Canaan gym can get pretty loose. But fans were looking for a technical. Afshar's going to hit the bench. Actually, no. Afshar has not checked out this entire game, I'm pretty sure. Give her credit. She's played a lot.
Yeah, she's played really well.
And she will finally check out. Looking for the ball. Instead, she got a little bit too much there. Natalie Plosker checks in for the first time tonight for New Canaan. The star freshman who started all year. Another player like Pullman. Where has she been all night? She could be a spark plug for New Canaan, number 3.
Here's Buscher. Got it again. Got it for 3. Bang! She knocks it down. That's 2 she's gotten in the second half. And one of Ludlow's main three-point threats is starting to wake up.
Channeled your inner Mike Breen there, Aiden.
Double dribble called on Plosker. And all of a sudden, Ludlowe by 5 with the ball and 12.7 seconds to play.
Aiden, we all know this is a momentum game. If Ludlowe can cap off this final 13 seconds with another bucket, a 7 or 8 point lead to end the quarter would be huge.
Corner ball, Buscher, another 3, another hit! That's 3 in this third quarter alone, and Ludlowe takes the 8-point lead to the 4th.
I don't want to say I called it, Aiden, but that bucket was huge for Ludlowe. That's a big bucket for them. Finally, I mentioned it all game. This team can shoot. Where is the shooting? Finally, they come alive in the final minute. You're clapping the final minute of that third quarter. They came alive. Ludlow's bomb squad came alive. New Canaan's dead silent right now with no answer.
She got a little love from the hoop, or from the backboard on that last 3-point shot. Ludlowe, who led by 2 just about, a minute ago?
Yep. Now up by 8.
Suddenly up by 8. This is a very different game, although Ludlowe does have 6 fouls, not much to play with there, but they do have a significantly better control over this game now. I'll tell you, Juliette Buscher just went off. We talked about it in the open. When she goes off, there is an electricity that radiates through this whole team. And that slump felt like it was really taking the life out of her. It's really good to see her getting a really perfect trifecta of shots to give Ludlowe a decent-sized lead as we go to the 4th.
You know, Ludlowe has exchanged wins for losses a lot as of recent. They played a couple of out-of-conference games over the last 2. This is a huge game for them, as we mentioned, not just for standings, but for team morale. To get a win like this on the road against New Canaan would be huge, but New Canaan's a disciplined team. They can shoot from the foul line, and they can shoot the 3 ball, so they still have plenty of chance here in the 4th quarter.
Bochy, Paulman, low block. Can she take over? She misses the shot, but she's going to the line. And this is just really, this last little run in the last 30 seconds or so has really taken the life out of New Canaan, you can see, Ian.
No, definitely, Aiden. It's a momentum game, as I mentioned seconds ago, and an 8-point lead isn't the biggest thing to overcome. 9-point lead as she drills the free throw. But just in the way it happened, these bang 3-pointers, these really horrible turnovers from New Canaan, Coach Winchester and his whole team is just deflated right now. And they need a couple of things to go their way to get some kind of momentum. Now trailing double digits for the first time tonight. 33-23 game as Rihanna Afshar is right back in the game for New Canaan, the senior captain.
Afshar and Buscher. Bochy almost got a pick on the pass to Lasecki. It's loose on the ground. No jump ball, no signal yet. Now there is jump ball. The last time it went on the floor, there was a foul, so you can never be too sure.
Definitely. Quinn McKiernan also back in the game for New Canaan. She's had a rough game in this one. She usually is in double digits for New Canaan, or pretty dang close. Tonight, she has not had much success. They need her to get hot late if they want to get back in this game. Here's Afshar dancing.
Ludlowe, a double-digit lead. That's the largest it's been tonight. Here's Heron on the fast break. One more pass and a foul. And this Ludlowe bench is going wild. And rightfully so.
That play was telegraphed all the way. Beautiful last-second pass, because at that point, New Canaan's defenders have no choice but to foul. You really can't set yourself up in a position defensively where you can get your hands up and not foul. Good last-second pass. We'll get a second look at that on the replay. Summers is one of the best free throw shooters on this Ludlowe squad. The Falcons are really well set up here down the stretch.
Yeah, she's gotten the most free throw shots tonight. First one coming. She drills it. We get another look. She may not have been able to get the basket, but they'll take the foul. New Canaan has jumped from 2 to 5 in this fourth quarter.
Now trailing by 11. This Ludlowe team looks a lot more like the 15-win team it was last year, Aiden, than the 5-7 team it was this year.
Summers is 2 for 2 from the line. Free throw shooting, not always a strong suit for the Falcons, but it has been tonight. Buscher on Afshar. They wanted steps, they didn't get it. And instead, it's Driscoll to run the point on Bochy. Trying to get a step. They have not been able to get in front of these Ludlowe defenders all night. That is a two-pointer, and that was big. Beg your pardon, that was a three-pointer that cuts the deficit to single digits at 9.
That's a clutch shot from the sophomore. Nearly lost the ball, brought it over, and splashes it home. But meanwhile, on the other end, Bochy gets a good bucket in the paint. Coach Winchester has to call a timeout for New Canaan.
Yeah, rightfully so. Ludlowe by 10. This is their their second largest lead of the night, and they are just having so much fun. When this Ludlowe team starts to play well, it really resonates to not just the rest of the varsity team, but the rest of the junior varsity team and the rest of the freshman team, both of whom have had outstanding seasons. And Ian, if this Ludlowe team can win tonight, it could propel them into what is a very tough final stretch. They have the opportunity to knock off 4 or 5 teams there at the end with Ward, St. Joseph, West Hill, and Bridgeport Central, but they do still have to play Staples Thursday night. It's gonna be popping inside the Ludlowe gym.
No, definitely, Aiden. Look, I've covered teams in my 2 years here in New Canaan, not a long time, but that haven't lived up to expectations. This Ludlowe team is one of them, but this is a win that could flip the switch and could start a new season for them inside of the 2019-2020 season. That 5-7 start with a win tonight could be behind them, and if they get on a big-time run down the stretch, this could be a contender for FCX. But at the same time, 6.5 minutes left, 12-point game is not completely out of reach. New Canaan's got to play really well, but they can still stay in this game with a good run.
Ludlowe by 12, now a full-on, full-court press, and it's worked real well so far. Good little drive from Charlton, but she can't even hit the rim. Rebound is pulled out by Dunn, and it's Afshar to kind of slow things down. New Canaan's problems have been in transition. Open 3, off back iron, and it's Summers to get the jump ball up against
Megan Driscoll.
Yeah, Driscoll, and she wins that battle. Ludlowe gets the ball back.
I saw Coach Winchester put his hands in the sky. I thought that was New Canaan ball. I thought Driscoll got that first. But Summers is a big player, and she was able to rip it away. Lucky break there for Ludlowe to get the ball back.
When Ludlowe starts to smile, when their bench players and their whole team starts to smile, you know you're in trouble. Heron could have taken a 3. Instead, she'll dump it down for a Pullman bucket. 14-point lead, and they just keep building on their largest leads of the night inside 6 to play fourth quarter.
Sometimes a team can't miss a shot. Ludlow's in one of those runs right now where anything that goes up is pretty much bound to go down.
Well, the boys are on one of those runs too, now leading by 20 late in the fourth quarter. Who would have thought? 5:15 left, it's 45-25. So Ludlow has the opportunity to pull off a humongous sweep tonight.
Well, this Ludlow-New Canaan game for the girls is a good back and forth. For the boys team, they're without, I believe, their best player in Alex Gibbons, who's missing his third straight game with a partially torn labrum in his hip, which is a painful injury to say the least. Obviously, a 20-point lead. Give credit to where credit is due to the boys team at Ludlow, but without that moxie #1 scorer in Alex Gibbons, it's a different New Canaan team.
My father actually had a torn labrum in his hip after he ran for a little bit. I'd rather not share how that turned out.
Yeah.
In hopes of Alex Gibbons having it turn out a little bit better.
Good steal from
by
Charlton.
Driscoll. Beg your pardon, the steal by Charlton. The feed to the free throw line and backed out for Afshar. She's up on Summers. Here's McKiernan dumping it down low, and they don't like that matchup of Driscoll and Busher. A long three cannot fall. Ludlow's dominated the rebounding battle, but New Canaan gets one there, and they're able to get Ludlow to commit their 8th foul of the night. It's pretty big.
No, definitely. McKiernan's had a rough game in this one. She's not afraid to shoot it. She hasn't given up that shot tonight. Give her credit. As the great Kobe Bryant would say, you gotta take. You can't miss 100% of shots you don't take. You gotta make something like that. Oh my gosh, losing him was one thing, but McKiernan, she's got to down the stretch find the groove if New Canaan wants to make it at least a semi-competitive game.
Good block by Torello. She just was moving as she did it. Got another look on the replay. Great job by our NCHS students producing this game tonight. Fantastic job making everything look nice as always. Here's Torello. The feed for Pullman. She's got a couple underneath. She hasn't hit a jumper yet. That continues. Summers gets it on the rebound. Pullman out. Busher holds it and is fouled by Afshar going for a jump ball. And Busher is all smiles.
You can tell Rihanna Afshar is not only gassed because she spent most of this game on the court, but also disappointed. This was a game New Canaan was in for most of it, and she's really given it her all down the stretch, but no answers. Ludlow's just been too hot.
That trifecta of Busher threes really worked wonders. She hasn't hit one since. We'll see if they can get her an open look. Not there, a steal, and Charlton takes it the other way. A bucket and a foul. Maybe that's what New Canaan needs to kind of pull them back in, now down to a 9-point game. Beg your pardon, an 11-point game.
Charlton's been up and down from the charity stripe so far tonight. These are two critical ones, Aiden. If she makes both, it could be a single possession game for the first time in a long time since the start of a quarter. But she's a big-time player. And the rim doesn't do her much kindness there. She can't bank it in.
New Canaan, while getting those calls on the fouls, has just not been able to get anything else to roll in their favor. Here's Torello. Angles inside. How about Roman pushing Charlton to the ground? I think that's kind of a metaphor of how this game has been played in a little microcosm of this second half. She just pushed Charlton right out of the way, and the referees let her have it. There was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you do not see that very often, if not at all, with Jane Charlton. It's Charlton who does the pushing.
That's a freshman.
Yep.
Putting a girl who's going to go play
Duke
lacrosse at Duke and is a senior, she put her on the ground.
It also gives her an opportunity for a pair of free throws, but regardless, it tells you just what kind of talent they have there with Fairfield Ludlowe's. A lot of athletic freshmen on this team.
We talked about WWE earlier. The last person I would want to be facing in that ring is Madison Roman. There are a couple Ludlow girls that could really do some damage. in that ring, but Roman is at the top of that list. Finnegan with a wonderful box out. She pulls the rebound off the miss. And it's Buescher going all the way around Afshar. Torello on the elbow, further into the corner. It's Paulman, loose and taken away by the Rams. Ludlowe may want to slow that down. The Rams have played real good defense so far, getting a couple of turnovers that have maybe pushed the momentum in their direction, but Ludlow still riding off of that little run to start the fourth. Finnegan thought she had it right to Torello.
That was a really good pick there, Seth, from Jane Charlton. Gave Rihanna Afshar a golden opportunity in the lane. New Canaan's going to get called for a foul. That's going to be Quinn McKiernan, number 21. That's New Canaan's 7th. So we will see Anna Paulman at the line for the Falcons. Rihanna Afshar is going to check out in this one. Katie Dunn checks in for New Canaan.
Before the game, we talked about Ludlow's losing streak, if you will. Their losing record, and you were really surprised. And I said, they played well in the first three, but it's a very much quarter by quarter with this team. They have just not been able to come up in the fourth quarter for whatever reason, a different reason every game. Today just seems so much different.
No, definitely. This doesn't look like the team I've watched in the past when you've covered the games, Aiden. This looks like a team with new life that's hitting shots for the first time in a long time.
And a rejuvenated Anna Paulman, who did not play in the first half. That is probably a huge, one of the biggest factors to Ludlow's run so far in the second. Anna's well rested. Usually she's played the first half, basically all of it. But now she's got a couple girls around her that are just rested enough to be able to play at her level, and she's just going off. How about Finnegan with a nice little bunny underneath? Ludlowe extending their lead now 43-28.
And meanwhile for New Canaan, 4-2, 5-2 to start the year. They've gone just 1-5 since, Aiden. You know, this is a team that plays with a lot of confidence. They had a losing streak here or there last year. They still made the playoffs. This is a rough loss, especially at home, against an up-and-down Ludlowe team that is finally unlocking its full potential. This win for New Canaan is a rough one, but Coach Winchester, now in his third year here in New Canaan, he knows how to rally the troops and get them reset. He's a young coach, but he's been there before.
Is a team that still could make the FCAC playoffs. Neither team is being eliminated tonight.
I would love to see these teams rematch, to be perfectly honest with you, because, look, maybe this is a deeper Ludlowe team, but New Canaan's got the star pieces. They haven't necessarily showed out tonight, though.
New Canaan just looks perplexed. They haven't done anything wrong.
No.
But Ludlow's done everything right in this second half. Ludlow's at 10 fouls, by the way. New Canaan's at 8. So New Canaan's in the double bonus. Ludlowe will be there in 2 fouls.
Yeah, the thing for New Canaan is that third quarter was a bit of a fluky one. We saw an anomaly of fouls on Ludlowe. It's almost like anything down low was getting called on them. That was a big reason why New Canaan was able to rack up a ton of points. They were able to get to the charity stripe quite often. Ludlowe finally cleaned up the game down low in the fourth quarter. New Canaan hasn't been able to shoot well all game long. And driving, they haven't been able to finish. They've been relying on fouls from Ludlowe. Just not a clean game for New Canaan offensively.
The Rams have been very inconsistent as well from the line here in this second half. Not that that's changing anything, but it's just a little side note. They have not excelled from the line. They open up Paulman. Here's Heron. New Canaan into a very tight full-court press. Torello. It goes off of Lisecki.
And right into the hands of Fairfield Ludlowe head coach, Miss Kinsey.
She's very happy to take it. Beyond her playing days, but I'm sure she could still hit one from there. Another foul's going to get called. That's been a trend in the second half as well. A lot of balls that could have been jump balls, but New Canaan is the aggressor. And in return, they're getting called for some of these fouls. One more, and both teams will be in the double bonus. Juliette Buescher to the line. She started off the ended the third quarter with a triad of threes that really took the life out of New Canaan, gave Ludlowe an 8-point lead coming to the fourth, and have really propelled them down the stretch.
Really good way to put it, Aiden. Just take the life out of New Canaan. It was only an 8-point lead at the end of the third quarter, but this team was just tired. They had played a good third quarter, and to see them kind of just blow it away within the last minute, it just really took a lot out of the players, deflated the air in the gym, and they haven't been able to get anything going since.
New Canaan broke a 4-game losing streak against Trumbull last Friday. Ludlowe trying to break a 1-game losing streak, but if New Canaan loses this game, it'll be only 1 win in their last 6 games, and that's just kind of says everything for this Rams team, who will be 6-7 in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. And Ludlowe, a 24-point lead. That is impressive.
Meanwhile, New Canaan's upcoming schedule includes Thursday, the last game of the month, on the road against Richfield, before next week they reset at home here against St. Joe's. Meanwhile, you mentioned that Thursday game, Aiden, for the Fairfield Ludlowe team at home against Staples is going to be another massive test for the squad.
Beg your pardon, now it's up to 19, and we've seen the Staples girls kind of lurking at some of these Ludlowe games. They've been scouting them. Ludlow Staples last year was an absolute pleasure to call, and it was a phenomenal game, even though Ludlow ended up on the losing end of it. I'm very excited to get to call that game on Thursday night. Only wish it was on a Friday night. We could get a little bit more people, but it's going to be a packed house. It's going to be a very competitive game, and if this Ludlow team comes up to play, as we see some of the bench players, all 3 of them now, that have not gotten into the game, get into the game. If this Ludlow team shows up to play, Staples is going to have a very hard time and will not have it as easy as they did in that Todd Berger tournament semifinal game against Fairfield Ludlowe, where they basically ran the entire second half.
Meanwhile, for New Canaan, we will be doing a lot of girls basketball next month as well as boys basketball. Our next game is going to be a big one at home. The girls will hit the road to play Richfield on Thursday. The boys will play here in the gym up against a talented Richfield squad, one of the best squads in the FCAC. That should be a good game. Stay tuned for that Thursday matchup. Meanwhile, Lucia Cravato, the freshman, checks in for New Canaan, number 31.
Thought about it travel, but instead, surprise, surprise, the Rams pick up a foul. 10-10 reads the scoreboard under team fouls, which means both teams are into the double bonus. And with 1:24 to play in this final period, the Rams are kind of deflated.
They've been deflated since the end of the third quarter.
Eckert at the line. She's gotten some playing time so far.
More new Rams check into the picture. Emma Gibbons, number 15, number 4. Cameron Murphy, a couple of their JV stars, and Natalie Plosker, number 3, the freshman who was a full-time starter for this Rams team at the start of the year, yet was just not a big factor in the game plan tonight.
Who would have expected a 20-point Ludlow lead as to how this thing's going to end? But it looks that way. 1:15 to go. Buescher is double-teamed to the corner and fouled. They're just not giving anybody a jump ball.
It was just a 1-point game at halftime, folks. It was 16 Ludlow, 15
It was
New
a
Canaan.
1-point game with about a minute to play in the third quarter.
And really, 3/4 of this game, that's the thing with basketball. A final score really can't tell the final story. New Canaan was in this game for most of it, and again, they just were deflated by that mirage of 3 balls from Ludlow, and they've played great ball ever since, the Falcons, that is.
Here's Bochy lofting for Eckert over the back foul against Cameron Murphy. The junior committed the crime. 50.3 to play. At this point, we've stopped counting fouls. It's 10+ on both sides as the sophomore Eckert coming to the line to shoot
This was a physical game for both sides.
It absolutely was, and Ludlowe totally deserved this game. This was a game they needed to win. This is a game they're gonna win. Looks like by 20-plus points. 21 at this point. Now 22 as Eckert converts both from the line after Spotty shooting her first trip.
New Canaan needed to show out defensively to win this game. All 6 of their wins have come when they hold opponents to 33 points or less. It looks like they were on track to do that after the first half. But finally, this terrific shooting capability on Ludlowe came alive. And to Ludlowe's credit, they played a hell of a fourth quarter, a heck of a fourth quarter to bring it home. Lucia Cravato gets a late bucket for New Canaan, the promising freshman and JV starter with a good play.
A 20-point Ludlowe lead. Juliet Buscher, a sick behind-the-back move across center court. And as the time ticks off the clock and the buzzer sounds at New Canaan High School, Fairfield Ludlowe picks up their biggest win of the season, 50-30, your final. Fairfield Ludlowe with the win is 6-7. They, with one more win, are up to 500. New Canaan with the loss is 6-7 as well. So, Ian, we recap what we talked about off the top. Juliet Buscher for Ludlowe. She comes in. She didn't shoot great in that first half, but she turned it on to begin that, to end that third quarter and begin that fourth quarter, and really, that's what made all the difference.
No, definitely. I mean, I've said it like a broken record, but the shooting was just on another level from Ludlowe. That was what I was expecting all game. We didn't get it, and finally it appeared, and it appeared fast. And New Canaan was just deflated. They didn't have an answer, and really, Ludlowe played a heck of a quarter on both sides in the fourth to really bring it home. This is a huge momentum game for both sides. New Canaan's got to get back on practice, back on the court, and really just get back to that early season magic. Meanwhile, Ludlowe's got to imagine like it's a 2018 season again. Pick up right where you left off last year and hopefully get a big win against Staples. That would be huge for them on Thursday. We're going to wrap it up here from the New Canaan High School gym. Aiden, Blanc, thank you so much for joining us here at NCTV. It was an honor to have you. You do a great job at Fairfield Ludlowe High School covering girls, guys, sports of all kinds. We appreciate you on this broadcast. We appreciate Cortland Parrott and Emily Fox, our cameraman and woman and producers in this game. You guys both did a great job. Our advisor, Roman Cebulski. Our athletic director, Jay Egan. I've been Ian Nicholas. We'll be back Thursday for boys basketball, a big production up against the Richfield Tigers. Final score, 50 Fairfield Ludlowe, 30 New Canaan. We'll see you on Thursday.